I wanted to add to that. That kind of didn't clear it up completely. So this is what I'm trying to say. All right, I was in executive protection. I was pretty good at it. I've developed systems and I've studied systems. If Trump were a private citizen, it would cost him more than it cost Elon for security because nobody would protect him. Part of executive protection is telling the protectee what to say and what not to say so that they can be protected. It's not a lie. If we listen to Trump, he's threatening about 80 million Americans. The Secret Service has to protect him from 80 million people, just to start with. So within 80 million people, let's go to, again, crime statistics, psychological statistics. We know within that number of people, even without a deep state type of operation. Now, Trump's deep state also. So again, Trump's complaining about some things going on in his life, attacking his life, but he uses the same thing to attack other people's life. I mean, face it, Eric Prince and his people are not there to simply, I don't know, just to drum up support. They to psychologically destroy the enemy. That's what they were trained in, and that's what they do. So again, Trump's part of the deep state. That's the deep state. Now, his argument is they're doing it to me so I protect myself. No, he's aggressive. He's offensive. So, but this idea is that the Secret Service is actually doing a great job. You can point to things that fell apart, but again, 80 million people want it to fall apart. That's metaphysics. That's will. And I wouldn't say 80 million. That's too many. But in 80 million people, there's probably 20 million that want it to fall apart. I couldn't even, I mean, I'd have been a hero. Again, I predicted many things. But I predicted that there was going to be something that day. I just couldn't get it online. I'm well down day after day. Sometimes I don't get the stuff online. Sometimes I do. All right. Now, if I had my rightful life, it would probably be much better. So the Secret Service is really up against a wall of metaphysical pushback because Trump is doing what he's doing. So if you had civilian people, they'd go protect someone else. They look, I don't need the money to protect it. I don't need the fame protecting Trump. Because I can go someone else. I'll say, hey, don't say that. They won't say it because they want to stay safe and they care. Now I'm not victim shaming. I'm not victim blaming. But in this particular case, there is a science behind what's happening. And actually, the Secret Service did better than anybody on the planet. There's no way, there's no way that there's, what is it, twice maybe? Two people decided to try, or there's a few others they got, I think, before they, right? FBI is probably in there somewhere too. Right. So again, when the protectee, I brought it up about Harry Reid and some other people. Maybe Pelosi, I can't remember. Maybe Giffords, I don't think I dinged her for anything. She did a good job. It's just simply, that's not a comfortable scenario. It's unfortunate, but yeah, she was in a risky scenario. There was nobody really there to do what they should do. And again, the Capitol Police wasn't structured for that. And I suggested that post Giffords. So the idea is that not only is Trump threatening millions of people, when he was president, we had the worst figures when it came to law enforcement being killed. Now, Trump has always been in the news cycle, but he was kind of muted. He was saying something a little bit different. So, election picks up. He picks up the same stuff that he was saying when he was in the White House. And now the FBI released information that was derogatory to the administration and Kamala Harris's bid for the presidency, but it backfired because it actually proves what I've been saying about Trump and how dangerous Trump is for police officers. Because as soon as Trump hits that news cycle again, what happens? Same thing. Law enforcement, within a few months, law enforcement deaths begin criming. It's radicalization. It's hate your neighbor technology. It's Soviet active measures. Now, I don't have any information that Eric Prince and his people are doing that, increasing crime, increasing the risks to police officers, but that's another way of doing it. I mean, they don't care. I mean, Trump doesn't care about police officers. He's just, working the crowd. That's part of the crowd. Again, some of these cops over there. Oh, when I was 16, I used to watch You're Fired. It was great. I mean, just like the same clowns I worked with, same low grade, low class. Now, again, there's a couple that are okay there. I mean, it's a cult, and Trump began forming his cult during the you're fired years. The only question is that part of what happened to the federal workforce? Like you're fired. What's his name? Jonathan Luna. You're fired, and next thing you know, he's dead. Rather, you're fired. Next thing you know, got to go to a center to get the retirement going. So again, witchcraft, spycraft, demonism, personality worship is demonism. So we know Trump's difficult to protect. We know Trump radicalizes people into violence. But then there's the other side of it. Again, forensics, psychology, sociology, clinical psychology. We know what causes all of these things. And no, it's not. I guess even if it is Donald being Donald, well, Donald's being a devil. So maybe it is Donald being Donald. Again, I don't have much time for people that rich because their whole life, because they have no clue. Have no clue. Call them spoon feds. Bunch of spoon feds. Trump's a spoon fed. Oh, but he proved himself under battle. Well, if I had a protection detail, I think I'd be pretty confident myself. Probably should, actually. Thank you, Larry. Again, Trump's not living the life that everybody else is living. And that's why he's so threatening of everyone else. The worst thing that could have happened is that he got a protection detail for life. He's abusing it. The way he treats people and what he says to people, I mean, the numbers, again, people say things, but not like 80 million people. No, it doesn't mean that he's a good person. It means he's messing the world up for Satan while enriching himself, because that's really the bottom line. I agree there. So that release of information, I haven't seen an abuse. Ray was pretty good over the years. As far as election time, release of information. He really, kept an eye on, but this time they dropped the ball. That should never have been released. It's not hiding information. It's just, okay, the death of police officers up. Why are you releasing it a month before the election? I think it even came from, did it come from the Justice Department? Or did it come from the FBI? I can't remember who generated it, but it's on the FBI site. So again, that has, nip it in the bud, as they say. It has, I don't know, hints or whatever it is of Comey, of James Comey, and what he did. So again, are we now starting the James Comey a month? Where they're going to scumbag Kamala Harris all month for their buddy Trump? I told you Trump's got buddies in the DOJ and buddies in the FBI. Who he's fooling? He's got buddies in the CIA. And they're deep state. That's a deep state hit on Kamala Harris. Now, what they're saying is, well, what about Jack Smith? Well, again, where are we with that? Who caused that? That case could have went to fruition already. You see this all the time. I bring it up too. That the defense will always speak about the clock of things and the timing of things. But yet the defense is the one that calculates it so they can say that. He could have waited, but he doesn't have to. Trump shouldn't even be in office. I mean, they're covering for him big time. He's obviously engaged in organized crime and racketeering, and he has been for a long time. But again, when you have federal agents that are engaged in that, they're not going to charge Trump people for the same thing they're doing. They'll charge them for something different. You see how that works? Because then it doesn't implicate them. So that's why organized crime and racketeering is really everywhere, but nobody's talking about it. Johnson County appears to be organized crime and racketeering. So what they're doing is they're dumbing people down. Right. and fearing them, of course. Right, that needs to be investigated. Suggestions are coming on the inside to say, but is that like Horowitz? Horowitz doesn't do anything right. He's just another chicken doo-doo. Well, you need to figure it out. Somebody's saying that if that in fact was released for any type of purpose, even if it was released legitimately, there's the timing is possibly a reason for disciplinary action. That may come from Holder. I don't know. And again, Holder may not know that I'm saying that or that he's saying that. That's just the way mind melds work.
Thank you, sir.
No, we don't want to have another month of James Comey. Oops. No, Ray actually, I gave Ray good marks for keeping quiet. I actually couldn't say anything about him because he never said anything. But that hints of James Comey and all that mess.
Thank you, Larry. I'm so sorry.
Thanks, man. And we're at a time period where they're feeling the pressure. Well, the director is limited in what he can do. Okay, you take somebody's clearance, they resign, they go work for some Republican think tank for 10 times the money and 4 times the fame. So I understand that part, but come on, we need to get forward to what's going on. And maybe it's kind of too late for my life, but there's a lot of people out there that want to live a real life without the bullshit that's going on.